Good afternoon. I can't see you. There's a small advantage whether you're awake or sleeping. I hope you're awake. Actually, I'm not sure whether I'm the right person coming and standing before the experts in communication and talking about something called Blind People's Association. You think you like to listen to me? Actually, nice of you. I'll just like to share with you a few observations or pictures. So there will be connect between communication and development. So our is more development communication. But I won't like to talk about communication per se. My topic is slightly different, but of course through communication. I like to just say that how if you have the courage, confidence in yourself and the things around, and you are able to maintain continuity in what you do, what you wish to do, you can ignite a change. I don't know how I'll justify that. I'd just like to show you, I'll go in 3 stages. First I'll say what courage we have at our institute and how we share our confidence as the starting point. And then I'll say how continuity has made a difference to our institute, which I represent, Blind People's Association. We are known as Andhra in Gujarati and Blind People's Association in English. But the same question. While I cannot see you, but I'll just like to ask you, how many people have heard of this institute? Very few hands. Oh, there are few hands. Okay, we are based there, suppose it IIM. That's the location we have. And as I told you, this is a boy. His name is Rohan. Anything I'm going to show is not from any storybook. This is what reality is, what we are facing every day, what we are doing as a part of our routine, as a part of our mandate. This boy was found on footpath near Gandhi Ashram. You see the advertisement on Sabarmati Ashram. This boy was abandoned. His only crime that he was born deafblind. He could not see, he could not hear, he could not speak. So parents found a very easy option, dump the child. You think this child has a life? I'm sure not. You must be shocked that if this child is found, he cannot survive. Because he's not fit to live in this world where there's a lot of hearing, talking, seeing. If you lost all these senses, all the sensory stimulations are not there, I'm sure this child cannot survive. Thanks to Manav Sadhana, an organization in Gandhi Ashram, they took care of the child for 3 years. And after 3 years, they realized what to do with this child. That's where our role comes in. And today, this child is a student like any other child, and he is growing up with a teacher like any other child. Trust me, he will have the future. One day, who knows, he will come and stand here, talk like I'm today, and share with you that how you can understand the world without having communication the way we talk of communication. Looks like a small building, but this is a classical example of running a medical project in a very different way. This is an eye hospital at Bareja, which has a very different concept. The patient decides how much to pay or not to pay. I'm sure when I make the statement, you'll say, how can you run an institute when you say you can get the surgery done without making any payment? We have been running, we have been surviving, we have been growing, and we do more than 10,000 surgeries, and the sponsorship we get is almost 6 months to 1 year in advance. That's the output. It's possible to have projects where the world comes to support you. Let's go a little further. It's a beautiful campus at NAS. NAS is near Pirana. It was an international school. The people who are running this school, somehow they could not manage it. They come and underline, donate the complete campus of 22 acres with a beautiful building, to the Blind People's Association. When we asked the question, why come such a big donation worth a few crores, as big as MICA is, to Blind People's Association, they say we trust that this organization can manage better and they'll be able to take care of this school in the best possible way. Getting a donation of 22 acres of land from another trust and having such a school is unparalleled in the history of institutional donation. Another, we take an initiative, the earthquake of 2001, you all know, thousands of people killed. We start a center, we start working like anybody else. We go into the earthquake area, start giving calipers, crutches, walkers, wheelchairs, physiotherapy, relief to the spinal injuries, our prime areas. Incidentally, Blind People's Association's name is a misnomer. While we are known as Blind People's Association, we work for all disabilities and combination thereof in a very large way. So we started working. So this was the first piece of land in the city of Bhuj given by government of Gujarat, totally free of cost. Single donor from Germany came and donated complete the money for construction of the building, and this got the national award as the barrier-free building in an earthquake affected area, and today it's a landmark in disaster management in the disability sector. Friends, starting something is easier, but continuing with that is what makes a difference. That's where I want to draw to one small conclusion, that it's not only commitment, it's not only dedication, it's not only taking up the challenge, it's continuing with the challenge, living with the challenge, and spearheading the challenge, which makes a difference. So first challenge which we face, like any other young management graduate, to build up a team, because you cannot grow an institute unless you have a team which can manage the institute, mobilize the resources, develop the human resources. We can go for financial management, use of technology, public relations, marketing management, advocacy. Now, if you see the list, everything concerns management. There's nothing which is non-management. Anybody with management knowledge or anybody with the management team can use his knowledge, his skills for growing the institute, and these are all the subjects which are taught to every management student. I'm sure many of subjects are taught here also. So there was a place for me to use all these concepts in the upcoming institute. And as I mentioned, unless you have the best people, no institute can grow. If you want the institute to grow, you need to send your team to the best of the institutes in the world. And I'm very fortunate that BPA has been sending our people to all the best institutes in the world ever for their training. You see my top people, Nandini, who's a management graduate. She went to USA. Harish Panchal, director training, went to that time USSR, now Russia. Vimal went to UK, Akhil went to USA. And they went to the best of the institutes to get the exposure, bring back the knowledge, expertise, which we can use for growing our organization. And friends, the second challenge, you cannot really grow unless you expand your service base. You cannot remain confined to the same set of people and same place. So that's where we started growing, and I'm very proud. We started with one campus. Today we have 15 campuses across the state of Gujarat. Here are some of the pictures of the campuses which are before you. They are very specialty campus, different type of campuses. Some you saw, just to run through. Every campus has a story, because for every campus, the land, the building has come from some school. And if you see this Savine, it was a watch factory in shambles, where the trees had grown on the second floor. It was offered to us as a donation. You take over the watch factory, do whatsoever you want to do. And we converted that watch factory into a school. And this is an inclusive school, one of the first inclusive schools in the country, where children with disability and non-disabled study together. There are more than 300 children. It's like any other public school, but school for very poor people, very marginalized people. Again, these campuses, every campus has a story by itself, but just to show you that one can start growing by growing the base. That's what we did. and we kept on growing. And the last one, there is Ashirwad. Whenever you are traveling to Rajkot, stop over at Saila. There is a Raj Subhag Ashram, a spiritual organization which is running our campuses called Ashirwad Trust under the control management of Raj Subhag Ashram. One of the finest buildings in the disability sector built at Saila, a small village up to Rajkot. You must have seen a charity shop near Vastapur Lake where you can donate the whole things. And this we saw in a hostel for the disabled girls. Friends, with so many campuses, you can reach more people. You can cover people like Sham. You can take the challenge of people like Rohan. But you cannot do all that unless you have financial strength, financial growth. We are one of the few NGOs in the country which has a portfolio management. We use our investments in the best possible way. For example, yesterday we invested into the series. I hope you know the series, where the returns are almost 10%. Show you as a management perspective, if you see all the three graphs, investments, expenditure, assets. These are three indicators of growth of any organization, and it's very, very difficult to maintain the upward trend in all the three indicators for all over 30 years. We are one of the few fortunate organizations that we have grown our investments at the same pace as our budget and expenditure and as our assets, as you saw many campuses. So maintaining in management sense, three upward graph in all the three indicators is almost impossible or very difficult, but we are very fortunate which we could achieve. The next challenge is seeking government participation. I'm sure you'll agree with me, any development sector is responsibility of the government. Unless you change the policies, change the programs, influence the government, nothing can happen. We have been very lucky to receive large grants from Government of Gujarat, Government of India, many ministries. As mentioned in the introduction, we are part of the law drafting system, we are part of the planning commission, we are part of the Rehab Council of India, we are part of all the leading national international organizations working in India. ICEVI is a world organization. One of my colleagues, Nandini, she was the secretary, first time a lady from India became secretary of a world body. We are advisors to CBM, the largest organization from Germany, and we are advisors to Sightsavers, another big organization from UK. So once you have these type of expansion, and we are part of Sense International, which works for the deaf-blind people, we just to impress upon that growth is never possible unless growth is in all dimensions. We have trained people from so many countries. We have done evaluation in so many countries, Malawi, Ghana, Kenya, Tanzania. And I'm glad somebody mentioned earlier, Kabul. We adopted a school in Kabul, which we have been mentoring, school for the blind in Kabul. We have a project in China, which we have been developing for a couple of years. And the outcome of, friends, what you saw, the BPA, I'm very proud to mention, is the largest disability development organization in the country today. And the best part is it has a very comprehensive coverage, and we are a very sustainable model. The meaning is, if from tomorrow all the grants stop, all the donations stop, all the support stops, we will survive, we will continue working at the present pace. Only thing is our growth will be affected, but not our survival and existence and performance. This is something from today morning's newspaper. If you read Gujarati paper, any of you, this is from Gujarat Samachar. I will just translate for the people that today evening there is a wedding in one of a party plots called Village. And the experiment they did last year doing again, all the chandala, the money covered, the gift the people bring, everything will be donated to Blind People's Association. It may be a few lakhs of rupees, which the reception comes to reception, all will go to BPA. And it's not important, I am not want to show you that we'll be getting the money. This is just to impress upon the trust of the people. If these couple wanted to select one organization in the state of Gujarat for donating all the gifts and the money they received today at the reception, I'm very proud and very glad they selected Blind People's Association, and Gujarat Samachar did a great job. Thanks to communication that they did a story in advance that last year they're doing it again, which makes a lot of difference too. Just to impress upon, not to go into details, that a large organization with large system has to have a very complex, well-developed, well-defined, well-monitored, well-managed organogram. If you just look at this, this is what is our organogram. With a chain of campuses, chain of departments, chain of activities, we have to have systems where there are centralized at the top, decentralized at the down. So it is, while it's a charity, while it's an institute for the blind and disabled, it's done in a very, very professional manner. And if you compare this organogram, it's like a small corporate having its own systems and own management system. Friends, we have a small target with all that we achieve. We want to reach more than 1 million people with disabilities in Gujarat. And one thing which I'm very proud, that we are 100% transparent and 100% accountable. Kindly visit our website, bpindia.org. You will see till yesterday evening how much donation has come, goes on the website, how much purchases we have done, at what rate, from which source, who's the supplier, goes on the website, what publications we have done, what press coverage is there, what adverse reports are there. Everything is visible on the website, and we are one of the few institutes where every voucher is open for public audit. Every transaction is open for public audit, and that has made us one of the biggest organizations in the country. We definitely want to be the largest development organization in the world in the coming year. That's the target we are working with. Just to conclude, friends, what I tried to impress upon, I don't know whether I have succeeded. It's up to you to decide. But my only submission was that if one has a courage, confidence in oneself, and develops the people and systems around the organization, and maintains, which is very important, continuity of purpose, there is no reason why one should not succeed. Thank you very much.